Hello! Clearly, a lot has happened in the last few minutes. I'm pretty happy with it. Most of my artwork, I just do it and I leave it, but this time I come back to it and add in a few more details. Ultimately, what I did is I colored in the avocados, shaded in the outlines a little bit, added a little bit of highlight, but I really am happy with it, and it's super weird, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video instead of doing any actual art, is I wanted to talk about artistic development. And for me, what's really important is that no matter how weird your idea is, the poem you want to write, the play you want to write, the picture you want to draw, you're always going to have self-doubt, and people are going to tell you it's a weird idea, or you shouldn't do it, or you shouldn't waste your time. But it's always worth just giving it a shot. And that's such a common platitude. It's just oh, just go for it. But it's really hard, especially when I think the arts are so undervalued. But it can be so rewarding to really see something you develop come to fruition. And I think that's really true with art. Obviously, the first time you draw something, it's not going to be great. And if you're just completely discouraged, you'll never get to the 100th time you draw something, and then it's actually good. These earrings that I'm wearing are these little see-through neon men that my friend Jessica made, and a bunch of us who are friends of hers bought them and wear them consistently. And I think they're just the coolest thing ever, but I guarantee you, if she had been not confident in her design, she hadn't made them because people told her they were weird, she wouldn't have made them, and I think that's really unfortunate, and I'm happy that she did go out on a limb and make these really strange earrings that I get so much pleasure out of. Ultimately, I think it's the same with my art too, is that a lot of what I end up painting and drawing are strange things that there's no market value for, and I think that's great. And I think it's kind of my mission to spread the idea that useless drawings and useless art and art for the sake of art rather than having to go into marketing or having to go into design is great. And there's a use in it in the same way that I think piano lessons for children are great too. We should be encouraging the arts. And that's ultimately part of the reason that I'm doing this video series, is because I feel very lucky that I'm somewhat good at art, or I know how to draw things, and I have a lot of weird useless knowledge and things that I'm interested in that I want to talk about. But I didn't really have a creative outlet other than making my own art, which is great. But I would rather it be a productive or an interactive process that I can inspire other people to do. I recently, I guess a few months ago, was in Santa Cruz, and Adam Savage had recently released his book, Every Tool's a Hammer, and he was giving this amazing speech where he was talking about his process learning how to overcome his own self-doubts and anxieties and all of the problems that face everyone, but that I didn't expect Adam Savage to experience. And he had a Q&A at the end of the session, and ultimately what we ended up talking about was I'd asked him a question, something along the lines of how can the average person, it was about makerspaces, and I asked, if someone doesn't have access to a makerspace, what can the average person do to go and foster intrigue in the arts or creative desire and passion in other people? And basically what he said is, if you have a talent or if you have knowledge, share it. Just go out, and instead of having the education system as it is, where there's kind of an educated elite and they have all these resources and all this experience and all these classes, but they never go out and become teachers and share their experiences with people. What you should do is you should teach, you should talk, you should give your advice to people, and that's kind of what I wanted to do here. So in part, I'm going to paint weird things like this and teach you how to draw avocados and do useless nonsense, but I also wanted to have this act as a forum where I could share my personal experiences and my stories and get feedback and learn just about art and life from other people. And I think there's an inherent value in that that doesn't need to be monetized, and that doesn't need to be part of the economic system. It can just be something that we enjoy in life. And that's kind of my 2 cents on the matter and why I'm doing the things I'm doing. But yeah, Here's some weird hands and avocados. If you have any suggestions about things that I should draw in the future or lessons you'd like to learn, put them in the comments section. Part of the reason I wanted to do this also is because I feel like I've only had 2 painting and drawing classes in my life, one before high school and then one in college. But now that I want to really get back into doing art, I found it really hard to find like free painting classes or like a mentor or anyone in my neighborhood who could teach me. And I don't know anything about watercolor and I don't know anything about ceramics, and I really wish that I had more artists in my life I could connect with. And it's kind of the same thing here. Like if you want to learn how to like paint or draw metal and glass, like I know there's plenty of videos on that already online, but if you want to learn how to do that in oil pastel or something else, or if there's something you want to draw that like there isn't a video for, let me know and I'll see if I can make that happen. Thanks so much and see what comes next.